It's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for action in the Indy Open Series, or if you're a handful of drivers here, it's time for double duty, as we just got done with the Open Wheels Grand Prix. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gotzo. Welcome to Race First coverage, sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups of Round 8 of the Indy Open Series Championship, coming to you today from the base of beautiful Mount Fuji in Japan and Fuji International Speedway. Joining me for expert analysis in the booth for today's race, he kind of helped me call a Brazilian Stock Car Series race here, so he's the only other guy I know that's really knows a lot about this track. He's my IndyCar teammate, and he's a regular participant in the Indy Fix Series. Coming to us live from Mexico City is Antonio Estrada. So, Antonio, barring everything that we learned from the Stock Car Series, which should carry over to here, not at all. USAC Champ Cars have run here in the past for an exhibition race back in the 60s, but this is effectively an all-new layout and configuration. I guess what to say here is, you know, what can we really expect with these Indy cars here? This is all new for everybody, really.
Yeah, definitely. Brand new for absolutely everyone. Good evening to all of us. To everyone that's watching this broadcast, welcome. And yeah, we had that stock car race in Fuji a couple of months ago. I don't think very many things will transfer actually, because those cars are really, really heavy, and you know, the IndyCar is super, super light. But there are a couple of things that do. I mean, first off, the track is super wide, so that's going to give us plenty of room for, if you're way faster than somebody else, you are going to be able to pass. Like, you're not going to be stuck behind somebody. And there are also a couple of runoff areas all over the place. So if you make a little tiny mistake, you're going to be fine. You're not going to destroy your car. You might get a little bit of an, slow down penalty, but it should be good. You're going to still be in the race. I was driving around in the IndyCar before the race, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, certain things do transfer. Braking points for the most part are similar, but yeah, it's going to be an entirely different way of attacking some of the corners, especially thinking about turn 15, the next corner, the second to last corner. That one being off camber, it really unsettles the car. So drivers are going to have to be extremely careful navigating that section. And essentially, the entirety of the back portion of the circuit, starting from the hairpin in turn 10, the Dunlop corner, all the way to the front stretch. That's a very, very technical bit, and you probably will not be able to make very many moves there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do on this massive straightaway. One of the largest that we've visited, and I think maybe potentially the longest one that we visited in the IndyCar Series. So push to pass, drafting, all of that is gonna come into play, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
As I mentioned, there was one exhibition IndyCar race here. It was back during the when USAC was the sanctioning body. Originally, when they built this facility, it was supposed to be an oval, and they kind of ran out of money for that, and they decided just to go ahead and finish it off as a road course. But like I said, one IndyCar race here in the past. It was an exhibition. Jackie Stewart won. It was kind of one of those exhibitions where drivers from all over the world would come, and then the teams would supply IndyCar teams would supply a champ car for them. So that's how Jackie Stewart won. Bobby Unser, though, finished second. Jackie Stewart was the pole sitter with a speed of 117.833 miles per hour. So, and that were on an entirely different configuration and layout than what you see here. So yeah, nothing from the past is applicable to what we're seeing here today. But we got about 2 minutes, right exactly 2 minutes here in qualifying. Hildegard is the provisional pole sitter, followed by friend Kevin Burrell, Principal Dan Hubler, and Dory are your top five. A couple guys here doing the double duty. Burrell was in that Indy GP race no more than really 15-20 minutes ago. They really finished that race. A lot of guys are, I think we got 3 or 4 drivers here that were in that race that are kind of dripping with probably a little extra sweat than they want to, but making a good show of it. The points leader, and we will bring the points up really, really quick here on the screen. We've got too many graphics. We'll try to hide some of those. There we go. there's a points graphic. Kevin Burrell's the one that's looking like he's going to earn the most opportunity here because Craig, he raced in the open wheel Grand Prix, doesn't even own the track, and he is exhausted, he said, after finishing in top 10 there. So he's not showing up. Will Lyons not here. Anders Sandberg, he was in the Open Wheels Grand Prix. He is not here. Kevin Burrell is obviously on your screen right there. He is here. Adam Blocker's not here. John Bedefer's not here. Chris Wilhite's not here. Andy Fuller's not here. Andrew Marquez, he was also in the Open Wheels Grand Prix. He's not here. Hugo Olsen, not here. So the one big gainer for this event looks to be possibly Kevin Burrell, who is currently 4th in standings, and he's really not that far out of second place for that matter. He's only 36 points out of second place at this point in the season before any drop weeks are added.
Yeah, that's certainly something that's going to be important for Burrell to have a good race here and maximize points, seeing that most of those competitors are not here. Totally understandable. It would be a marathon to do the open wheel race and then jump into the IndyCar one. But maybe somebody like Jesper Orman also gets the benefit from, kind of like some of the heavy hitters not being around here tonight.
Yeah, Jesper doing double duty today. He was in the open wheel Grand Prix. A handful of drivers here, not very many, but a handful are doing double duty this morning. And then I would imagine they're shutting down their computers for the rest of the day. They are done. So we're getting ready to grid up here and go racing. And let's see who is going to be.
All right. So in the number 2 car, Christian Hilgard got the pole position with a 1:21.8, a blazingly fast time. Joining him on the front row, it's going to be Kevin Burrell, who's set to gain a lot of spots, a lot of points on the competition, seeing that they are not around here. Then we have Dan Piazza, P3, with Zachary Kubler in P4, rounding up row number 2. In row number 3, we have Doriano Ricciuti and Blaise Andrick. Row 4, we have Brian Stark and Andrew Sandberg. Row 5, we can see Jesper Ehrman and
Sandberg,
Matthew Johnson.
Yep.
Oh, maybe I skipped him. Yeah, Andrew Sandberg starting P8. Then we have Orman and Johnson P9 and P10. We have Kevin Hensel and Charles Sears in row 6. Then we have Makoto Yamasaki and Jonathan Bass in row 7. Keith Rainey, Paul Seeley in row 8. Ryan Archuleta and Craig Forsyth starting from row 9. We have Scott Schroeder and Hayden Opila from row 10. And Alex Bayer in P21, that's the last one that set a time. He'll be joined by Rafael Pesa in row number 11, P22. And in row 12, we have Morgan Lilly and Hector Lorca. I don't know.
I'm going to say Lorca. I'm going to say that's the evil captain of the USS Discovery in Star Trek Discovery. I'm going to say Lorca.
That's about right.
Yeah, I think that's right. Surely not related. I think he had only one L. But we're getting ready to roll out. Yeah, Sandberg is in the lineup. Missed him. So he is looking to gain as well. But Christian Hilgard is your pole sitter. And he's going to, that's the first time we've had him on the pole for the top split here on Saturday. And he's going to bring this field down to green with a very similar looking car next to him. It's like his teammate, Kevin Burrell.
Yeah, as we're coming through turn 15, that's the Nets corner. That's the one that's off camber. That's going to be tough. And yeah, let's see also the strategy of the Reds versus the Black Turrets. I haven't seen much time difference between those, but we'll see. Seems to be a little bit of a split between the top drivers, as we're now in the extremely long front stretch, getting ready to take the green.
Yeah, talk about extreme. They are still racing behind the pace car. And now he dives off, finally, as Hildegarde has command of the field, and he is off and racing. We are green here at Fuji Speedway.
It's 3 wide already. Ricciuti sending it.
A lot of drivers on push to pass already down the long straight. Couple drivers wide there out of one. Hubler up the fourth. Watch those rumble strips. They have like a little bit of a gutter type drain. So a bit of a drop off, and then they go right back up on the rumble strips. The only other track I've seen like that is Red Bull Ring.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're running over those curves consistently, you're going to end up damaging the car. That's something new that iRacing has added, that subsistent and consistent damage is going to really end up damaging your car. So you better be careful not to run over those too much.
There's my corporate teammate in the Speedway Series and Retro Series, Craig Forsyth, over there in Lionheart, working his way up here into the mid portion of the top 15, top 20 actually.
Birel is not giving up, and is really close to Hildgaard there for the lead, as we're closing lap 1. Look at the draft he gets. He's going to be able to go side by side here if he wants.
I think he's using his teammate, using and abusing his teammate by getting mileage down that front straight.
Right, because every little bit helps, as we've seen in every other race that we've done. Feeling every second you can take. Ooh, there was a little bit of a moment there between Zachary Hubler and Dallara Ricciuti there for P3.
Watching that one.
They locked up really bad there in front of him.
Blaze Andrews with a good start there, and then they need number 12 in the 5th spot.
Zachary Hubler is really upset at Dallara Ricciuti. He wants to get by. He says that he's moving all over the place. I don't know, man. Fighting for a podium? But anyway, what I was trying to get to... Yeah. Oh, there we go. He's now side by side. Now, he thinks better of it. Maybe get a better exit off of 16. He gets a great launch there. He's going to be able to make the move here.
And Dory moves to the inside defensively. Hubler on push to pass. And he is, now they are both seem like, well, I'm not sure with Dory on, but apparently he's got a good run. They're side by side. He finally not quite concedes the position, but he is holds on to where he was because he has a better position in these next set of corners.
Yeah, he's not conceding anything.
No. Now, if you notice in some of these corners, they have like a, and here comes Blaze Andrews going to follow him through. Some of these corners have like a cone that's sticking up. Like a pylon type corner designation point, I guess is the right thing to use. Yep. I believe that is only there graphically only. I think these cars can drive right through those.
I don't know. I have always avoided it.
Yeah, Principal Dan on the inside there with Andrich. Tries to get the move. Opens the door for Sandberg. Oh, here comes Jesper Orman. Jesper still's got his drive on.
Oh, Jesper goes a little wide.
I was just spotting for Jesper in the open wheel Grand Prix, and we had quite the interesting race. Let's say that. Oh, and Principal Dan coming into the pits.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He was upset on the radio.
Does he have some
damage? Somebody ruined his race or some sort? Maybe he got a little bit of wing damage or something?
Looking on the front, the wings look okay. This is also scheduled too early. Kevin Hensel also in the pits. His day might be done.
Yeah, no way you can make it from to the end here. A stint lasts around 30 to 32 laps, so he's way too early. He's going to have to come pit again.
Oh, and he punches out. He might be done.
Maybe he got a little bit of side pod damage, so
Possible.
I'll try
Meanwhile, yeah, take a look and see what happened. Meanwhile, up front, Hildegard and Burrell are taking off by about 5 seconds from Hubler. 5.7 right now on the ticker. iRacing did a wonderful job scanning this track, and especially the surrounding countryside. Everything looks just great here.
It's such a pretty track, like a very scenic one. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact between Blaze Andrick and Dan Piazza, and I think he did get a little bit of side pod damage, and that's why he has, well, retired, unfortunately, from the race.
Christian Hildegard, your leader, has led every lap so far. 5 of 45 in the books. Kevin Burrell, your highest placed driver in the championship right now, P2. Highest placed driver in the championship that's on the track in the race, that is.
Andrick really being aggressive over Doriano Ricciuti. They're trying to get that P4. They're entering turn 10.
Yeah, he is giving no love to those old dog cars, that's for sure. Blaze a bit of Blaze a bit of a budding car painter. If anyone's interested in getting an IndyCar painted, he's helped me out. I'm sure he'll help you out. Just contact him. All right, behind him, Jesper Orman up to 6th spot. Anders Sandberg, another one of the double-duty guys in today's lineup. He's worked his way up to 7th. He's there in that Team Watson Racing Setups livery.
Andrick and Ricciuti, they're going to be entering side by side, turn 1.
Oh, so close, so close.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to complete the pass. He's been very, very close the last couple of corners, but Ricciuti is driving a really good race here. Oh, he just steps in front of him. Cuts the air a little bit.
He's like, I'm going to stick my nose there, and I'm going to force it through. And that's exactly what he does. A very aggressive but a very successful move by Andrich to move him up to P4.
Yeah, but Ricciuti is not giving up. Let's see what he does. You're entering turn 10.
I hate to say this. I think Ricciuti might have been slowing him down a little bit, because now look how he's kind of pulling away. Now keep in mind, Dory's also on those prime tires. Everyone in front of him now are on the alternate tires. Those alternate tires are going to go off here, I'm going to say, in the next couple laps. So if Dory is patient, they might come back to him. We shall see. Right behind him, also on the prime tires, are Orman and Sandberg. So they're watching this battle with great interest as well.
Yeah, we'll see how much the tires fall off. I didn't really see that much of a difference between those two. Maybe in the longer run, it's going to be something that really affects those guys that started on the primary, on the alternates, I'm sorry. But a little bit of a lockup from Andrick there. But yeah, we'll see. So far, I think the pace is kind of similar. But yeah, we'll find out in a couple of laps, I guess.
Still on our drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you're watching and not a subscriber already to the channel here at Racers, please do us a solid. 41% of you watching right now are not. We've been doing better on that number. That continues to go down. But if you're not a subscriber, please help us on our drive to 1,000. We only have 27 subscribers to go before we get to the 1,000 mark. So we're slowly getting there, but we can't do it without your help. Please change that button from red to gray. Click the bell so you don't miss out on future iRacing broadcasts here on Race First. We thank you for subscribing and being here, and hope you're enjoying it. We're lap 7 of 45 into this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Indy Open. Next week, this is 1 p.m. Eastern, folks. Don't forget, another reason to hit that bell so you don't miss out on a race time because of a time change.
There was a little bit of a big moment for Ryan Stark there following Matthew Johnson. Almost lost it. Now Anders Sandberg is looking to make a move on Jesper Orman as who's that?
Sears.
Sears.
Yeah, Sears
coming back on track.
Sears in a self-sponsored car. I like that.
Sandberg is now really hounding Jesper Orman there for P6. Jesper goes a little wide there.
Yeah.
Brings Sandberg a little closer. This section of the track is really, really fast, and now you have to get hard into the brakes to enter turn 10, the Dunlop corner, the hairpin. I think Craig Forsyth is pitting. Oh, Jesper gets a little squirrely exit.
Craig Forsyth is still going. He has worked his way up to 14th. And today, speaking of watching Anders Sandberg there, he's in that Team Watson Racing Setup livery. Of course, Team Watson Racing Setups is sponsoring coverage, race first coverage of the Indy Open Series. Visit TeamWatsonRacing.com for all the setups you need for the Indy Open Series and more. Use the code WATSPIN39, WATSPIN 39, as he makes the move to the inside of Jesper. For 5% off your next purchase, we want to thank James Watson and his team for their ongoing support of the Indy Open coverage this season. Of course, one of the setups you can probably get is whatever Anders is using or close to it here at Fuji, what has moved him up into the 6th spot.
Yeah, very clean move there. As we said, that front stretch provides a lot of opportunities to do that. Ryan Stark has caught back up to Matthew Johnson there for P8.
Now let's go back and take a look a little bit further into the top 10.
Yeah, so last time by, he got squirrely exiting turn 8 and then again entering turn 15. So he lost like a second and a half to Johnston, but now he's back with a vengeance. Sending it, entering turn 10 here.
We need to get Stark an IndyCar livery, though. He's been in the top split race here on broadcast a couple weeks now. We need to get him a proper IndyCar livery. None of this NASCAR crossover stuff.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that as he's inching closer and closer to Matt Johnson. Let's see what happens here in turn 16.
Now,
he's able to get a better exit.
Yeah. Oh, Stark getting or Johnson getting a good exit there. Stark to his inside now, down the straight. So if Ryan Stark though likes Kyle Busch's liveries, of course Kyle Busch for a while, I think, didn't he drive the Interstate Batteries car?
Yeah, he did.
There was. To the outside going into one, deep braking side by side, fellas. No wheel banging. Stark goes wide. Going to stay wide. Both each giving each other room. Johnson to the outside. Coming down in the 3. And Stark gets to position. So, yeah, there was an Interstate Batteries IndyCar, sponsored IndyCar in the 90s. That I'm sure might already be on Trading Paints if he wants to pick that up. I believe it was sponsored or driven by at least one time by Roberto Guerrero, if not by multiple drivers. But there was an Interstate Battery sponsored IndyCar in the early 90s.
Yeah, it was around 91. I remember seeing that car. But yeah, great setup from Ryan Stark there. He goes to the outside, and then he was going to have the benefit of the inside entering turn 3, the Coca-Cola corner. Yeah. And he executed beautifully. And now he's driving away. Yeah,
he was thinking ahead there. That's one of the things that really Fuji rewards you for, because if you're playing car chess, if you're thinking 2 or 3 corners ahead here, provided you can hold your position, you might have a favorable spot to pull off that pass. So move Stark up to 8th. Your top 10, Hildegard, Burrell, Hubler. Burrell and Hildegard are your leaders, P1, P2, by 6 seconds over Hubler. Andritz, P4, Dory in 5th. Sandberg 6th, Orman 7th. Stark, who we're riding along with here, in 8th. Johnston 9th. And Bass, who we've not really shout out at all. We'll go back and take a look at him. There in the number 14. A proper IndyCar number. I'm sure that's not his regular number. That's what he is in the split. But of course, proper IndyCar number. One of the few recognizable. Of course, NASCAR always have recognizable numbers to their cars, right? But IndyCar never really had that. But everyone knows 14 is AJ Foyt.
You sure? Yeah, I mean that, and then it was also made even more famous by Stewart, because Stewart was such a fanboy of AJ Foyt.
Yeah.
So yeah, that 14 is definitely AJ Foyt. That's the first thing that comes to mind always. I'm seeing that Andrew Sandberg has really caught up now to Doriano Ricciuti.
Yeah, let's go take a look here. And there he goes, Sandberg there. He's 6th gear. It is pegged out. Blue lights flashing. Can't go any faster. Locks up one of the tires going into the corner because of the camber there. On a downhill. But he is caught up. So it is Andrich, Ricciuti, and Sandberg now. Andrich has not really pulled away. I thought he would. He's pulled away a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna check out, but he's still there. He within reach for Ricciuti and Sandberg.
So with right in front of Andrich is Principal Dan, off the pace at the moment, but might be in a position to help his teammate out. And if I remember right, he was in a battle with Andrich, so he might not be very happy with Andrich at the moment. Let's see if team orders are on the menu here.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Piazza was upset at Blaze Andrick. He mentioned that he was the reason why he was out of the race, basically, but he moves over. We were trying to create drama, but no drama here.
And he pits. He comes into the pits, I know. So speaking of drama, I know there's a lot of drama going on at the moment in the NASCAR series. And one of the things we're talking about was Tony Stewart. And there might be, I haven't heard this firsthand, but, it would be cool if he decides that he wants to give up his charter in NASCAR and he wants to still race. We know he's doing this NHRA thing. We also know that he does at some point, or he still has a soft spot for IndyCar. Wouldn't it be something that, because AJ's getting old, AJ's getting up there in ages. Wouldn't it be something if Tony buys AJ's team?
Floyd Stewart Racing? That would be something.
Or just make it
really
Floyd Stewart Racing. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a match made in heaven, really. I mean, Foyt's team's kind of a bit of a mid-pack runner, and to get a team half owner or owner that we know can put money into that team with big sponsors like Mobile One, and that's just to name a few, but that would be very, very cool.
Yeah, and Stewart has been really upset at NASCAR lately because of all the decisions that they have made, and that some of them have affected his team directly, and seemingly only his team. So I could see that Andrew Sandberg now going into the pits, and right now he's going to be able to make it to the end, and apparently that answers the question. The primary tires are not really valuable. We see that both Sandberg and Norman are coming to the pits.
Sandberg and Norman together. Yeah, they're
going to be switching to the alternate. And like I said, I didn't see very much of a time difference between those, or a lot of drop-off. So it might be beneficial to stay on the alternate tire for as long as you can. So I can imagine that we're going to see Hildegard and Virel. They're going to be staying until around lap 30, 32. And these guys,
Orman gets a spot here. Yeah.
It's a strategy already in play now.
That's a pretty significant move there, or at least when it comes to IndyCar pit stops, jumping on the same lap.
Yeah, and making it work. Trying to find, the Jesper Orman's time in the pits was 8.6. Compared to Anders Sandberg, that was a 9.6, so 1 second difference. That's more than enough for one driver to jump the other one. That's a great job by Jesper Orman's team.
Jesper might have short-filled, knowing that they still have to pit again.
Oh, and that brings me back to what I was saying at the very beginning of the race that we were talking about with Kevin Burrell, who actually has now taken the lead over Christian Hildgaard. But everything you can do to save fuel is always going to help. That's going to mean either shorter fuel, less time in the pit box, whatever you can, but try to get as much as advantage as you can.
Well, and yeah, you're correct on that, because Jesper was pretty much in the tire tracks of Sandberg for much of that run, so he could have been back there conceivably saving fuel to make it a bit of a shorter fill. Saw Sandberg make that stop, knew that he's going to have a shorter fill, could probably make the jump, went ahead and dove in with him and got the position. I mean, pit strategy there, very, very smart. But you're right, Kevin Burrell, now your leader on lap 15. Want to thank everyone for joining us. It's been a long morning already. If you're several of these drivers, heck, maybe you even watching at home, managed to watch the Open Wheels Grand Prix. So once again, if you're just joining us, race first coverage of the Saturday 2 p.m. Eastern top split of the Indy Open Series. Coverage sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups. We're coming to you from Fuji International Speedway for the first time here in the Open Series. Currently, Kevin Burrell, fourth place in the driver's standings, is your leader. We have quite a ways to go, only 16 of 45 in the books. You can help show your support of RaceFirst. Become a member of our Patreon page today. Go to patreon.com/RaceFirst and join us there. Pick a tier. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss out on the next race. Big week coming up here in the Indy Fix Series. We'll talk about that.
So, while we were going through that, Zachary Hubler went into the pits. He was on the alternate tire. So, not sure. I mean, he's going to go to the primary now. Not sure what the strategy is there. As I see that, Burrell and Hildgaard, they probably did this move, in purpose to try and get the other one to save a little fuel, because they're super close together, but they're teammates. So they're likely helping each other out, especially here on the front stretch. It's so long that you can be half throttle and get that benefit of the draft and save a lot of fuel that way. So I'm sure that they're working together, trying to get as much time as possible. I can hear Hildgaard lifting on the throttle now. So yeah, very interesting stories that are developing around.
Let's take a look at our top 10. We did mention there is Kevin Burrell and his teammate Hildgaard. They are coming up on a lap traffic here. I'm not sure who that is. But we're looking at here. Dory is P3. Blaze Andrich is right with him at the moment. Ryan Stark in the M&M's car is 5th. Paul Seeley 6th. He's moved on up. He's 16 laps into his current stint. So a lot of these guys who have not pitted yet are moving on up, but they still will have to pit. Hubler, first car who has already pitted. He is first, only one lap into his current stint. He is 7th. Anders Sandberg, 3 laps into his current stint. He is 8th. 9th is Orman, who pitted on the same time. He got the position back from Orman after the fact. He is now back ahead of Orman. Craig Forsyth in that 4D Raceway sponsored machine. Shout out to them. They used to sponsor us in the Monday Night Indy Fix Series. Good stuff there. P10, but he is still off the stop. He is 17 laps into his current stint. And back at 11th, another name that we haven't mentioned, but he's there in the Colton Herta livery. Hayden Ophelia. He is P11, and he is 17 laps in. Matthew Johnston in P12, 2 laps into his stint, so he is just done. He'll make up some positions here. Jonathan Bass, 4 laps into his current stint. And the Plain Jane rapper number 14, Rafael Pisa. He has actually just gone a lap down. He was right there in front of the leaders. He is in that basically moving Italian flag. It looks good.
Yeah.
But the leaders just got by him. So 13 cars on a lead lap. Still quite a few folks running. Only showing 2 cars out, I believe. Hector Lorca and Charles Sears, I believe, are out. Everyone else is still running in some form or another.
Yeah, Ryan Archuleta seems to be out as well, and Dan Piazza, I think he disconnected at some point. But yeah, you just mentioned him. Shout out to Hayden Opila. I mean, this one didn't split, so we're seeing that the teams, you know, the difference in speed as Christian Hildgaard is now jumping into the pits. And that leaves Kevin Burrell as the only one of the front runner. Well, no, Cutie and Andrick have also not pitted yet. But yeah, shout out to him. I mean, there is a massive iRating difference between these guys, and he's hanging in there in the top 10.
I will say this for Fuji, for a track that's going to feature a wide range of abilities in a single split. This is an extremely wide racetrack. There's a lot of places, unlike when we were racing at Phillip Island, there's not a lot of places some of those guys could go and hide. The slower traffic, they can go and hide. They would have to just, there was only certain straightaways. Here, slower traffic can go and hide just about any spot because it's so wide open.
Yep. Yeah. If you're that fast, like, I was looking at some of the times. There are around 4 seconds difference between the fast guys and the slower guys. So that's massive. But like you said, you can move anywhere and get out of the way, no problem at all. There are going to be very few spots that are having a car that's very slow in front of you that's going to stop you from moving forward. So yeah, that's a positive for sure.
Well, a bit of a broadcasting note, very important here. 2 weeks, we will be bringing you the Indy Open Top Split Strength of Field race here on Friday, November 18th at 7 p.m. That is the day before the Open Wheels 500, and we will also be at Indianapolis. So we will see a good number of the Open Wheel 500 participants that if they qualified. And my understanding, there's like 50 cars that have registered for the Open Wheels 500. So it's going to be like bumping from the old days that we'll see there. That should be pretty exciting. But for those that make it, they will probably want to use a race for a warm-up before. Well, they can use the Indy Open Strength of Field race that we'll have on Friday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you hit the bell on our page, and that will remind you about the time change and everything that will be in. But that is 2 weeks. Next week is Barber, and then we'll move to Indianapolis for the special presentation on Friday, so we don't conflict with Indy Open. So that's a broadcasting note. Once again, our trip to Indianapolis this season here in 2 weeks, week 10, will be on Friday, November 18th at 7 p.m.
All right. So, yeah, let's make sure to watch that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And while that was happening, we have Ricuti, Andrick, and Stark. They all went into the pits. As I think Karen Burrell is also jumping into the pits right now.
He is on pit road right now. He has gone the longest. And we'll see if Hildgaard gets him. Hildgaard's kind of stuck back in a little bit of traffic. He's on the main straight. Now, the main straight is long, and Burrell is all the way at the end.
It's going to be close.
We'll try to get a better camera angle here. Oh, and he's stuck behind 2 cars. Now 3 cars. Another car coming off of pit road. He beats him. Oh, and Burrell's now stuck behind a slower car.
Yeah, but
that slower car very, very coolly lets him on by. Very, very slick move there. So right in front of, not sure who that is. Is that Morgan Lilly there in the white car, allowing the leaders on by. Nice of him. Hayden
now we only have
him. Scott Schrader is also in this battle here. He's next up on the leaders to see.
So it seems that it really worked out for Hildgaard.
Yeah, it really did. You're right.
Because now it's a 2.5 second lead. Whoa, and Burrell gets a little squirrely there. He's able to gather it back up and try again, but that lost him another 10th. So yeah, that's and it also worked out for Jesper Orman and Anders Sandberg, who pitted before Ricciuti, Andrick, and Stark, and they're now P4 and P5, although Ricciuti is closing in fast.
Good battle right here, you're right. And he is on the rear gearbox of Jesper. Now to the inside. Jesper might have to concede. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, you can try and dive it in hard. Oh, Sandberg locks up in front of these guys.
Jesper does not give up easily. He does get the position, and now he's got a good run and looking at Sandberg now.
And we'll have to see if Andrick is able to close in as Ricciuti did. Ricciuti, Andrick, and Stark, they were all together before the pit stop.
Ryan Stark back in 8th. Matthew Johnston 9th. Jonathan Bass there in 10th. Pisa in 11th. Forsyth in 12th. Let's get back to this battle with everybody here with Dory and Sandberg and Orman.
Yeah, Sandberg really locked them up. I'm not sure that's going to be good for the tire life of those alternates, but so far he's doing a great job staying in front of Ricciuti. However, maybe in the long run that's not going to be great, since essentially these guys decided to split it in half. They are able to make it to the end, but I'm not sure if the tires are going to last that long with so many lockups. So Ricciuti now gets a great run here. He's going to be able to easily blaze by Anders Sandberg there for P4. Sandberg trying to get back a little bit, but he locks up again.
Well, now is a good time probably to pay some bills, considering we are watching the Team Watson Racing setup car. Let's do a little side-by-side with Team Watson, and we will be right back. All right, we're back, and this battle gets tighter now. We start tossing in a lapped car right now. I'm not sure who that is, but it's one of the
looks like
McLaren SP liveries. Is that Archuleta? Yep. Archuletta's had a bit of a rough race. I think that's the livery that. Was that the livery that Montoya had in the 500?
I'm not sure if that. No, Montoya's was whitish. Or
okay, this might be what Pato then had.
Yeah, this was awards. Yep.
Yep.
With that awful green, I don't know who decided that green was a good idea. I mean, Jesus Christ.
It looks like it kind of reminds me of teams that have when they have multiple cars back in the day. And one of the cars would get in a wreck, and they would then throw, like, you know, they had it's a yellow primary car, but the other car is blue, so it's like a blue side pod because that's the spare part they had. It kind of looks like a car that's been thrown together with spare. T. Menard would always do that. Oh, look at Archuleta power slide through that corner. He caught it, but he opened himself up for those other cars to get around him. But that kind of reminds me of the mismatched T. Menard's car.
Yeah, he sure does, and yeah, it looks weird. Like, but you know, they paid big bucks for that shade of green. Not sure why.
That's okay. Some famous designer came up with that design, and according to Montoya's kids, that's cool.
Okay, well, more
considering
power to them.
Montoya's about my age, I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you say so, kids.
Yeah, the generational gap that's coming in through clearly for me as well, because I'm like, I don't know how you guys can like it, but sure. So Orman still staying very close to Sandberg here, and as we have seen, Sandberg has been abusing his tires a little bit, so I'm not sure if he's gonna last the entire 21 laps that are remaining here. And also Blaze Andrick, he has been able to close in a little bit. He was 2.5 seconds back to this battle between Sandberg and Orman, and now he's 1.2 seconds behind, so closing in. Ooh, turn 15, look at that. There's a car spinning out in front of these guys. That was Oriano Ricciuti.
That was Ricciuti, yeah, that was Dory.
Yeah, that's what we were chugging a little bit about, and I was about to mention that, you know, people, all these drivers haven't made really any mistakes there, and I was expecting that to happen, and unfortunately it did for Dory, but he still has better tires than Norman and Sandberg, so he's going to try and do something here.
Sandberg taking a good defensive position down the front straight. Orman on the outside going into one. Orman with a little bit of a lockup, still on the outside. Yeah, still on the outside, getting a little close there.
Coming in the preferred line here. Yep.
Yeah, and that will give Orman the preferred line. Move him up into the top 5, P4, inside the top 5. Anders is not done. He wants back on this. And Dory might be driving with a little red in his eyes at the moment. And I think Blaze Andrick sees a lot of opportunity right in front of him. So everybody driving for a little something right now in this group.
Yeah, now 4 cars under a blanket there. And Ricciuti, he has been really fast. And again, I think even with that half spin, he has better tires than Sandberg and Norman. So we'll see if he gets a good run up in 16 and if he is able to run them down. But Sandberg is not giving up at all.
And Andrich is right there on Dory as well.
Sandberg there gets a good exit.
27 of 45 in the books. So if we get a little bit of a break here, see what happens with this group. Jesper is not that far. Is that Hubler right in front of him? No, that's lap traffic. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Sealy, but that actually Paul Sealy, and that actually helped Orman there because he got left there.
It gave him a big hand, really, because otherwise he would have been kind of a bit of a sitting duck.
Yeah.
And Sealy, 1 lap down at the moment. The leaders are in front of him, of course. The leaders are Hildegard and Burrell in 1 and 2. Zachary Hubler is in P3. Sealy trying to steer clear of everybody at the moment, letting these guys on by. Good spot to do it. Good on him.
Yeah, great move there by Sealy. He allowed the 4 guys fighting here to go by no
and
problem
really
at
didn't
all.
lose any time. Yeah,
that was great.
So before we get another run on the main straight here, I don't know why my
Ricciuti gets. Yeah. He almost lost it again.
There we go. Let's check out this run down the main straight here, and then we'll get into this next promo I need to read.
Let's see. I don't think Sandberg is close enough to try and make a move here on Orman. He's going to show the car, though. Yeah, no, he's way too far back.
Oh, Dory drove it in there deep, almost to the backside of Sandberg there.
And locking up a lot.
So real quick, let me read this here because this is some good stuff coming up. We told you we got a big week coming up here on Raceverse, folks. Here's a little something to mark on your calendars for something that you truly have to see to believe. Join us at Raceverse this Monday as the official iRacing Indy Fixed Series will be at Talladega all next week. That's right, IndyCar pack racing with speeds in excess of 250 miles per hour. Join Raceverse coverage starting at 7:15 p.m. Remember, we got a time change this weekend, folks. 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night, so you miss out on any action. Go to youtube.com/Raceverse, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, so you won't be left behind to bear witness to one of the true rarities of any type of racing, IndyCars at Talladega.
Man, I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm also not really looking forward to that. I mean, I actually really enjoy driving the IndyCars around Talladega. I mean, I think it makes it actually works really well as opposed to Daytona, where it's a lot tighter, but people end up making some crazy moves from time to time. Sandberg is now trying to do the move on Orman here.
Yep, we got him. He's doing that all natural, no push to pass.
Oh, locking up a lot. Jesper has a preferred line here on turn 3, though, but he concedes.
Yeah, he falls right back in line.
But yeah, I mean, since it's Talladega, I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of folks just jumping in because Talladega is an attractive track for a lot of people in the service, and that they are not necessarily familiar with the IndyCars. And
Blaze Andrich.
You always get that one person that is trying to bomb draft, and everything goes really wrong.
Yeah, you cannot. For those that are watching right now and are thinking about it, you cannot bump draft in IndyCars. You cannot side draft. There's no such thing as side drafting in IndyCar. Now, there are some tips and tricks and secrets to how you want to set your weight jacker. I will not get into that here. You need to figure that one out on your own. It's not overly difficult to do some research on that.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, if anyone's thinking about it, that because typically we'll see a lot of crossover this week. We'll see a lot of NASCAR guys jump into the IndyCar. The biggest thing that in between the two series, and we're watching the little defensive position there for Orman, might losing another position here to Dory on the outside. Dory pulls it off. Orman a little wide there, but gets it collected. Now, the biggest thing with the Indy cars over, let's say if you're a stock car driver and you like plate tracks, right? Or they don't do the plates anymore, but you know what I mean, plate tracks. Is, you know, like you're already used to a fast, and there's Blaze on the outside.
On the outside, wow,
nice
what a
job.
move there.
Something happened to Christian Hildegard. He is down to 7th. We missed whatever happened to him.
Yeah, I was about to mention it. Both Hildegard and Stark, they went back to the pit, so they're actually doing 2 stops, and I would not be surprised to see pretty much everyone following through.
Okay, so he is on the outside. So he went back. This is his first lap of the stint. So he did do a pit stop, scheduled pit stop. And so now we watch Kevin Burrell, the leader. The biggest thing if you're a stock car driver is, and you don't know about IndyCar, is that the closing rates are even faster in an IndyCar, and that's a lot of times that the stock car drivers don't really anticipate that, and then they'll get to the end of the super straight, and they get sucked up in the draft, and then all of a sudden they're in the backside of the car in front of them because they didn't anticipate the closing rate being that fast. These are the fastest cars in a straight line on the service, guys. The closing rates are going to be incredible with these cars, so you need to take that into account. Do your practice now, but we're really hoping for a clean race in the top split.
Yeah. And using half the throttle works for most situations.
Yeah, it really does.
Talladega.
It does. You can conserve a lot of fuel, stay out maybe a little bit longer, and then maybe hope that big one occurs. The other thing that tends to happen is that people spin out when they come off the button, and then they come up to speed. They'll spin out immediately because tires aren't up at temperature and that type of thing. But 31 of 45 in the books. Watching Burrell, who has not made that move down pit road yet. He is 10 laps into his current stint. He probably is going to have to stop again. As to when, we don't know yet.
We just saw Stenberg and Orman dive into the pits for the last pit stop. So they're set. I'm not sure what Ricciuti's strategy is, and maybe even somebody like Birel, you could potentially make it. Although, well, maybe not. Maybe my calculations were wrong, and it wouldn't be the first time. and you definitely do need to make 2 pit stops. So we'll see what happens.
Dory trying to break the draft back to Blaze Andrich, making that very radical move down the front straight. Actually, it's probably not very much needed. I mean, if Andrich did the right thing, he just kept the car going straight. You know, when you turn the wheel that drastic, you do scrub off speed. So, thanks for joining, everybody. Make sure to give us a thumbs up here. Very great, very good race going on here. Very, very clean. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell. And check out our GoFundMe page for donate to the broadcast, guys. This is not free stuff. Takes time and money to produce this stuff, so we appreciate any donations that you can make to the program. So currently your top 3 now: Burrell, Hubler. We haven't put the camera on Hubler very much. He's moved to a Scotty D livery. And Dory looks like he's making that move to pit road.
Going to the pits, yeah. So that leaves Andrick there for P3 now. It's a bummer that we have that bug with iRacing. Now we don't know for real on what type of tire they're running on. So,
well, I can tell you. I mean, my timing and scoring is actually correct on that. So, Burrell, Hubler, and Andrich are all on the alternate, or the prime tire. Excuse me, Hildegard and Dory, and he is on the jacks coming down now. I'm going to see if he's going to change color. Dory is on the alternates. Sandberg, who's on the button coming down the front straight to get around Seeley there in the 10. Sandberg is on the reds as well. Kevin Burrell on the button coming down the main straight. This probably might be the fact that he's on the button here racing by himself. This might be an effort to do the final push before he does his pit stop.
But I was just looking at Ricciuti. Something must have happened to him. He might have gotten a speeding penalty or something. He's still on pit lane.
He's still on pit road. Minute 15 on pit road, 52 seconds.
55 seconds now on his pit stop. That sounds like he got a speeding penalty or an unsafe pit entry or whatever, because that's still adding up. Well, if it was a speeding penalty, he should have been.
Yeah, it would only been like a 40-second hold or something like that, and he might not be worth it to him at this point to re-enter. No, he's re-entering now.
Yeah, well, maybe he got double whammy there, because now he's back, but his speed time was minute 18. Oh.
On pit road for a minute 49. Of course, these guys getting around here in the 120s.
Yeah. So definitely down a lap. That's that's such a bummer. He was doing such a great job, and that battle with Jesper Arvin and Ender Sandberg. Yep. And
Kevin Burrell pit road.
Burrell pitting now. So now that leaves only Hubler and Andrick from the front runners left to pit again.
Hubler 18 laps into his stint. Looks like he's going to make the turn down pit road. Andrich 14 laps on this current stint, so he might stay out a little while longer. Plus he's behind a car that he might get a little extra mileage from. That is the 20. Hubler's going to come in. Andrew's going to come in, maybe do a bit of a short fill. So now we turn our heads to Christian Hildegard, who is now back out front. Kevin Burrell just now coming off of pit road. Burrell on both these cars are on the reds. Now, interesting thing enough, here we go. With coming to 10 laps to go, Hildegard on reds, currently 5 laps into his stint. So these reds are, I would consider, pretty much half used by this point.
Yeah.
Burrell, he's going to have fresh reds, lighter tank. So that's going to be interesting enough right there. And push to pass situation, each one has 4 remaining. So we might be seeing a battle for the lead shape up here in the late stages here at Fuji International and the Indy Open Strength of Field race this week.
Yeah, he got. It's gonna be tough because he was 4.5 seconds behind. Now he's down to 4.1, so he's definitely gaining on Hildegard there.
And Hildegard has 2, I don't want to say slower cars, but lapped traffic in front of him at the moment. One in the shape of, I think that's Alex Bayer? Yeah, Alex Bayer. And then in front of Bayer,
it's Craig Forsyth.
Yeah, that's Craig Forsyth. Craig is the last car on the lead lap now at the moment. He has worked his way up to 10th. He's up 8 spots. He's your big gainer of the day so far.
Yeah, so Burrell now has this down to 3.5 seconds. He's really, really pushing now, and it's time to go. We have 9 to go.
Yeah, Hildegard's already used 1 push to pass, so it's now 3 to 4 on the push to pass scoreboard.
Oh, Burrell got just behind Alex Bayer. He lost a little bit of time.
Bayer did a good job getting out of the way. That little extra runoff area, he gets up on that, allows Burrell on by. Now Burrell, next car in contact is Hildegard, his teammate and leader.
Yeah, and that difference that we were talking about from 4.5 seconds is down to 3.3. So
Hildegard's on push to pass. And Hildegard's out, and helping Hildegard there more than likely is in the draft of Craig Forsyth.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was, I'm not sure who that was. That was Jonathan Bass that was running wide there, maybe? Or was that Craig?
Jonathan Bass, yeah. No, it's Bass, and he almost lost it in front of Burrell there.
So move Craig Forsyth up to 9th now. Forsyth operating in the unlucky number 13. Good thing he doesn't have any green on the car to get the old double whammy.
Well, now it's down to 2.5 seconds. Burrell is really pushing right now.
Hildegard, push to pass. 1 press left.
Yeah, so last time by, Burrell was 1 second faster than Hildegard. Let's see, this time around, it's a 1:24.5 for Hildegard and a 1:23.7 for Burrell. So he's definitely making use of those brand new alternate tires that are being way faster.
All right, Forsyth ducking to the inside-outside, depending on which way you look at it. Gets out of the way for Hildegard. Burrell still hanging 2.5 behind. We have now 8 cars on the lead lap. Matthew Johnston in that Expel liveried Penske car in 8th. Hildegard sporting the Ferrari team helmet.
Down to 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah, we're running on board Kevin Burrell right now. He is there. And he is also going to be able to get on the front straight, probably use his push to pass and use the draft. Forsyth. And they're both on push to pass. That's what we thought. So Hildegard is now Winchester on push to pass. He is out.
Oh.
8 laps to go. Now 7 laps to go. And Burrell still has 3 presses left.
Oh, and looks like Jesper Orman had a moment. I no longer see him.
He's in 7th.
He lost the spot to start. Forsyth moves out of the way for Burrell, though. And now we're down to 1 second. Last time by, 1:24.7 for Hildegard, and 1:23.6 for Burrell. So a second and 1/10 faster for Burrell.
Yeah, it's under a second right now. It's 9/10 up to the leader from Burrell's point of view.
Looks like Jonathan Bass has crashed. Oh, locking up Christian Hildegard.
Another name, we're watching this up to the lead now. Another name we haven't talked about is Makamoto Yamasaki. This is a home race for him down in P19. 7 laps down. Bit of a rough day, but he has all week to pick that one back up. Nice to have one of your home tracks on the service.
Burrell making a move now. Looking to the inside.
And Burrell on push to pass, and he has 2 other pushes left. He can really pull away here if he wants to. He's now to the lead. He has run down his teammate, and I think Burrell is on the better strategy in terms of tires and the length of being on them. And this is going to bode very... I missed what the strength of field was going into this race. But this is going to bode well for him in the overall championship.
Right, yeah, like you were talking at the beginning of the show, he and Sandberg are really the only ones that are going to benefit today from this race, and they're going to be earning a lot of points, and Burrell maximizing the opportunity. That's great for him. And I mean, I don't think Hilder has anything left for him. He was a second slower again, and with 6 to go, he's just going to be hanging on for dear life. Although maybe Burrell's tires will start to fall off a cliff as well, but seems tough. Seems tough at the moment for Hildegard there. Last time by, 1:24.4 for Burrell and a 1:25.1 for Hildegard, so it's no longer a second slower. It's this time by 6/10 now. He closed in there a lot in turn 1, though. So Hildegard might not be done yet. As now Burrell locks up a tiny bit. Yeah, that's bringing Hildegard back into the fray here. He's really closing in. I'm not sure if we did hit that, falling off a cliff with these tires, but they're very, very close together again. In front of them, we have Matthew Johnston. But now Hildegard is back 2 seconds. He had a little bit of a mistake. I was looking at something else. I'm going back to the replay. Exiting turn 15. He got a little too quick on the accelerator. And that's gonna do it.
Oof.
That's a tough break.
Yep, and now Hildegard is fallen back to 2 seconds behind the battle for the lead that he was just at. Now Burrell, he is behind Matthew Johnston, and he's at the tail end of the lead lap. And by rights, Johnston has every right to battle and try to stay on the lead lap. So I don't expect Johnston, even in the closing stages for that matter, to really pull over and make things easier for the leader to put him a lap down. He wants to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because Craig Forsyth is not that far back, so you don't want to give up any track position at this point in the race. I was looking at Andrew Sandberg. He's being caught now by Blaze Hendrick, and they're very, very close.
Yeah, they are.
Hendrick is going to have Hendrick's going to have a lot of opportunities here because we still have 3.5 laps to go, and his tires are a little better than Sandberg. Sandberg pit on lap 30, Hendrick on lap 34, so 4 times fresher tires. We'll see.
Yeah, Andrich, 7 laps into his current stint, and Sandberg, 11 laps into his current stint. Push to pass situation. Andrich now down to 3 on the button. Sandberg now down to 2 on the button. Here we go. Here comes the snake. Defensive down to the inside. Andrich now pops out to the last second to the outside. Drag race down the 1, and they hold station.
Oh, he gets a little loose there, Blaze Hendrick, on throttle application. And, that sets him back a half a second. So, that's what happens. And when you're on these super close battles, any tiny mistake, that's going to... And it's a little demoralizing also. Like, oh, man, I've worked so hard to get here. And then you make a tiny mistake and the car in front of you goes away. It's like, all that work, now back to square one. But, he hasn't given up the entire race.
I mean, he has time. He has the tires. So just show a little patience. And all he needs to do is be within that draft envelope on the main straight, and he's still in this battle.
Yep.
So no reason to panic yet. No reason to full send it yet.
Turn
not
15.
What he wanted. And that is that's right there in 15. And you were talking about that, where it's off camber, and sometimes the back end doesn't want to stay put. And
he actually, I think he damaged his car when he tried to spin back into the right direction. He did hit the wall a tiny bit with the right rear. The car looked a little wobbly for the first couple of seconds, but it seems fine now. So, what a bummer.
Yeah, that's a bummer. And just talking about being patient and everything. Now, Ryan Stark sees blood in the water. He's going to send it to the inside there over, I'm not sure who that was. That
looks
Ryan
like
Archuleta?
Keith Rainey.
Rainey, okay. Sends it to the inside there of Rainey. Gets the position. Now he sees blood in the water, so he definitely want to get by that slower car. 7 cars left on the lead lap. Jesper is now down to 7th behind Ryan Stark. So I'm not sure what happened to Jesper, but he's struggling at the moment, but still has a top 10 finish. He's up 2 spots from where he started, so that's a good net gain nevertheless. Your top 10, Burrell, Hildegard, Hubler, Sandberg, Andrich, Stark, Orman, Johnston, Forsyth, and Bass. Kevin Burrell and Christian Hildegard have been your leaders all day long. Kevin Burrell now up to a 2.5 lead. Still hasn't escaped the draft envelope. Needs to be more than a 2.5 lead over Hildegard to stay out of that envelope. Zachary Hubler has been pretty much in the 3rd spot all day long. Driven a very clean, very smart race. He's 19 seconds behind Hildegard and 12 seconds ahead of Sandberg. So, he's, provided he doesn't make any mistakes, he's looking at a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, great run for him. As we are getting close to the last corner of the race, we are on the white flag lap. This is the
Here it
last
comes
one.
down the front straight. Kevin Burrell clear by 1.4, and he's clear all the way to victory lane. Kevin Burrell, another win here on Race First. The best interview in all of sim racing. Right there. And his teammate pulls alongside.
Looking forward to that interview. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Zachary Hubler brings it across the start-finish line. He finishes third, as I said. Anders Sandberg and that Team Watson Racing setup car. He comes home fourth. Blaze Andrich holds on. Finishes fifth. Brian Stark. Blood in the water, but not quite enough time. Gonna come home sixth.
Yeah.
Jesper Orman going to come home seventh.
Yeah, and looks like Matthew Johnson, he was eventually passed, so only 7 cars finished on the lead lap here.
And let's see if the overlay is going to agree with me or not. No, I don't think it is. It's always at the time when I need to do the final standings. So let's try to see if it actually loads the correct data now. And we'll try to get you today's final standings here from Fuji here. Here we go. Boom. I think we got him there. All right.
All right, so dominating performance by Kevin Burrell and Christian Hildgaard. That lets them a 1-2 finish for the teammates. Great win for Kevin Burrell, as we were speaking about, for the championship. And a great showing for Christian Hildgaard. So first and second for Burrell and Hildgaard. Then we have Zachary Hubler rounding up the podium. Great race for him. A little bit of quiet race, but quiet is always good as he notches a podium there. P4, we have Andrew Sandberg, who had a great battle there with Blaze Andrick, Ryan Stark, and Jesper Orman. All those guys were very close together the entirety of the race. Also adding in Doriano Ricciuti. But Sandberg P4, Andrick P5, Ryan Stark P6, Jesper Orman P7. That's all the cars that finished on the lead lap. Then we have Matthew Johnston P8, Craig Forsyth P9, and Jonathan Bass rounding up the top 10. With Cole Seeley P11, Scott Schroeder P12, Hayden Opila P13, Morgan Lilly P14, Doriano Ricciuti. That hiccup that really
penalty
sent him way back to P15. That was a bummer. Then we have Keith Rainey P16, Kevin Hansel P17, Alex Bayer P18, Makoto Yamasaki, the local one, P19, and Ryan Archuleta P20. With Rafael Pesa in P21, Charles Sears P22, Hector Giorca P23, and Dan Piazza P24 with that issue that he had. Great race here.
Well, let's check the interview room, see who went on to talk to us today. And Kevin Burrell's there. Go figure. Well, he's I'm not sure if Christian Hildgaard or Hubler are part of the server. We will, if they get added here, we will bring them up in time. But we will bring up Kevin Burrell because I know he will have many things he needs to say. Plus, I'm sure he's very, very tired. Hey, Kevin, got you on mute. There, you're off mute.
Yeah.
First of all, 2 races right in a row, bang bang.
Yeah.
First of all, how you feel?
Yeah, I'm dead. I like, man. I mean, this was a rough day because you know, for the West Coast, the Open Wheels GP was like, well, I mean, you know, practice opened at 7 a.m. for us. So that was like I actually went out of my way to go to bed remarkably early, just due to my like work at home situation.
Right.
Some nights I'm like going to bed at like 5 a.m. I mean, that's not uncommon for me, which is why sometimes I can make these like, weird like Euro hour slots and stuff. It's no problem for me ever. Um, but man, getting up at 7 a.m. today and then running, longer than IIS race was just like that. And it was a high stress race. I won't say too much. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. But there was, tensions flared maybe, and it was, it was something. So, and prep went into it. I mean, open wheels is prestigious, and people take it seriously. I mean, it was like 4,400 SOF, and if you split it like you do Indy Open, it would have been like 5,500. So, I mean, the pressure was on. So to come out with that, then I have like half an hour, if even, not even. And then I come over here. It was like me and Christian had been, we've been kind of, and actually Hubler as well. We'd been kind of sort of prepping for this week just because I love Fuji. It's from, I used to be big into Gran Turismo Sport. That's what I did before iRacing. I competed in the like esports series for that. And Fuji is like, for whatever reason, Polyphony, they love their Fuji, Suzuka, and a couple of their own original tracks. But Fuji and Suzuka are mainstays in Gran Turismo. And let me tell you, the number of laps I've driven in like GT3 cars and Super Formula at Fuji in Gran Turismo is like, you don't even want to know. It's actually disturbing. It makes anything I've done at iRacing look like child's play. So I knew this week I was like, yeah, we got to come in. I got to try and make a real nice setup. And Christian's actually same deal. He's comes from the Gran Turismo world as well in the past, and he's been looking to get into Indy and iRacing. And I was telling him, well, if there's any week you want to try, it's probably a good one. Just I didn't know how participation would be this week, but I mean, it is what it is right now. I think with IIS off and so on, and people had just come off of Open Wheels GP today, but it's a really fun track, and it's really fun to drive in this car. So to be able to just go in and crush it felt great. It was real fun to cruise behind him at the start. We split the strategy, and I mean, I guess it worked out better for me in the end, but I had no idea, to be honest. When he pit, I was like, should I have pit? I don't know. I fuel saved behind him, and to try and go longer on that first stint. And I honestly had no idea, based on the Monday race, what would work, what wouldn't. And I guess it worked. So he's definitely a faster, maybe better mechanical execution driver than me. So to pull it off on strat, I felt pretty good today.
Well, yeah, I had skin in the game too for the Open Wheel Grand Prix. I was spotting for Jesper. So you guys that did double duty today didn't do a bad job. You are, of course, the highest placed car in the standings right now in terms of making the race for today. So hopefully you gained some ground on the leaders. I believe you're in fourth, but the distance between fourth and second is pretty tight. So hopefully you made some ground there. But everybody that made the Open Wheel Grand Prix, yourself, Sandberg, and Orman all finished in the top 10. So I would imagine coming into the event, quote unquote, warm, might have helped out a little bit, all things considered. But you had so many laps around here on the PlayStation. Did any of that help you at all with these cars here, or you just got the course memorized, and that's half the battle?
I mean, to be honest, like, obviously the physics of GT Sport are pretty different, but with that said, I think something that is actually, interestingly enough, and I think Christian would agree too, based on his experience, he's made like the world finals in GT Sport as well. He would agree that specifically with IndyCar, something about tire management, the way you manage tires and fuel and stuff in iRacing is different. But I think a series like this, where more than even a lot of other series in iRacing, tire management and fuel, do come into play here. And with that said, I mean, shockingly enough, like, brake markers and the way you drive, if you set the car up to feel a certain way and feel pretty planted with, the differential and so on, and feel planted on exit, you can kind of make it drive a little like GT, and it kind of does transfer over, and that last sector, I think a lot of people are afraid of in iRacing, who haven't driven it, a lot before, because it's just so unintuitive. It's like the most unintuitive sector in all. I mean, seriously, like it's one of the most unintuitive sectors in like all of racing, just the way, and I'm sure you saw my line versus his. He has it down, but the way I was driving behind him was just like totally different. I really struggle with it, and it's just, I think a lot of people struggle with that. So the experience I had from GT with it, shockingly does actually kind of just carry over, and credit where credit is due for Gran Turismo. Apparently, I don't know. It was it's really fun, and it's good to see it kind of carry over a little bit here too. I mean, that was my goal with the setup this week, was make it drive on rails, and hope that the overall pace would be okay, and also hope I didn't have to pass anyone, because let me tell you, with the amount of downforce we had, if I did have to, that would not have been happening. I'm sure anyone with any lower downforce would have just flown away on the streets. So luckily that didn't come into play. Yeah, looking forward to I don't even remember where we're going next. It's Indy Oval, right?
Barber is
Barber.
next.
Yes, Barber first.
Barber's next,
great.
Yeah.
I just ran that in another league, so I'm dialed in on that hopefully already. So it should be popular too. And
then the Indy Open the week of the Open Wheels Grand Prix, so our Open Wheels 500. Yes. So hopefully you qualify for that. But Antonio, I told you, this is best interview in all of iRacing. He answers all the questions, and I don't have to ask anything. He just hits all the marks. It's just like on the racetrack. So with that said, I know you're tired, and I know you want to wrap up and go celebrate and get some rest here, because you've been up since the wee hours, and I've been up just as long, but I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it's not as painful.
Yeah, a little better for you guys.
But believe me, I'm ready. I'm even though I'm broadcasting one race and spotting in another, believe me, I'm ready to shut down too.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It is, and no joke on that Open Wheels Grand Prix. I mean, the finish where we finished for Jesper and I feel pretty good. You did slightly better than us, but man, with that strength of field, just it's happy to be the day is over. So a good day for you, and you got a teammate to boot, so hopefully we can foster this relationship between Christian and IndyCar to see a more of a regular thing from him, because it's always good to see new blood in the sport. And we saw, of course, those 2 team cars up there, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something new. So good to see someone racing with you there. Good day for you in the points. No one else was in this race that was really challenging you other than Sandberg, and you finished ahead of him. So that's good. You hit all the shout outs and everything. I'm sure you're happy as all heck.
Well, I will say, I'm definitely the support of the Team Watson guys.
There you go.
Obviously, we've got the distinct livery that we are looking to embiggen the Team Watson stickers on there. We're working with them to try and maybe see what we can do with some setup stuff for next season, and IIS as well. So it's crazy. I mean, it's like one of the series in iRacing that people always talk about setups being a big deal, but like IndyCar, as far as I can tell, I mean, I don't have like comprehensive knowledge of everything in iRacing, but IndyCar and like, I don't know, LMP1 and maybe LMP2, like you go to those 3 cars, setups, you can just spend like your entire life doing it and still not find everything. So, having people to work with and bounce ideas off of, it helps a lot. And those guys have been, very helpful and, very friendly. So we're looking to try and, hopefully bring that into IIS. I mean, next season for me, I'm going to be very busy, so I don't know what my participation is going to be like, but I'm looking to really hit it hard with IIS.
Of course, Team Watson Racing Setups is the sponsor of our coverage here on the
how convenient.
Yes, on the Saturday Strength of Field Indy Open, and some birdie told me that we might see you in some other series that we participate and cover in as well next season. So I'm looking forward to to that. We'll go ahead and let you go. Like I said, you answered actually everything conceivably that we could possibly ask for, because the big question was the tire strategy and tire management. Congratulations on the win. We hope to see you next week at Barber, but go get some rest. You definitely earned it.
Yeah, catch you later. Have a good one. Thanks, guys, as always, for the great broadcast and everything.
You got it.
To check it back. Have a good one.
You
Cheers.
got it.
All right.
Normally I would turn the mic over to Antonio, but like I said, he just he comes here and you don't have to even prompt him. He just covers all the bases and gets the shout outs in without even. It's like he knows he's done this before, and I don't know if they broadcast races. I know I've seen some people broadcast sports car type races off the Xbox, but I don't know if they do it off the PlayStation. But maybe he's done this before. Maybe he's just he's hustling us. But your thoughts about this race today? Lots of action down that front straightaway.
Yeah, lots of action, and I think it was a great race. We ended up seeing a lot of what we were expecting. Car that's difficult to drive on a particular set of corners, turn 15, turn 16. And we saw that bite a couple of drivers. We saw some really close racing, some beating and banging here and there that ruffled some feathers. And then overall, a great strategy from the guys and of course from Kevin Burrell and Christian Lundgaard there. I said Lundgaard, that's all wrong. But anyway,
Hildegard.
But no, we saw a great race, I think, and those guys really demolished the field.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, looking forward to Barber. Barber is a very traditional IndyCar course, and I think it lends itself for great racing overall. Although it has elevation changes and moving from here and there and some blind corners, it really works great in the IndyCar. And as opposed to here, where if you were a slower car, you had a lot of places to hide and let people by. You don't have that luxury in Barber. So lap traffic comes into play, strategy comes into play, and handling, of course, the setup, everything. So I think it's going to be a great race next week. But yeah, we really enjoyed watching these guys going around Fuji tonight.
That's right. Next week, Indy fixed at Talladega. And if you just shoot down the road at Talladega there, you're not too far away from Barber Motorsports Park there, where Indy Open will be. So in the virtual world, Indy cars will be all over northern Alabama.
Yeah.
So that's it today.
Yeah,
And it's going to be a good one. So catch us Monday night, of course, for Fixed at Talladega, and next Saturday here for Open at Barber. That's it for today. Once again, your podium from Fuji. Kevin Burrell with another win in the Open Series. Christian Hildegard, first podium in our broadcast. Good having him here. And Zachary Hubler, very quiet but consistent and a well-paying P3. Join Racers again next week for round 9 at the Open Series Championship as we head to Barber Motorsports Park. Coverage should begin approximately 1 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. Don't forget, time change this weekend, folks. And as always, check the official iRacing schedule or our channel for the correct time in your area. Race First coverage of the Indy Open Series is sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups. You heard us talk about them quite a bit. Visit TeamWatsonRacing.com for all the setups you need for the Indy Open Series season. Use the code WATSPIN39, WATSPIN 39 for 5% off your next purchase. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the Indy Open Series, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our Indy Open Series broadcast fund. Also, you can become a Race First Patreon today. Visit patreon.com/racefirst and become a member. We realize that times are tough. The holidays are here. So any contribution will be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Saturdays each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game, that's another one that's not easy to play as well. So help support Race First with the weekend grind and leave a comment below. Let us know about today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. Just like that. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of Race vs. iRacing programming, including Season 4 of 2022 of the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split, which will be at Talladega. And starting on December 7th, it's the return of the Revolution Indy League Schaefer IndyCar Series. Keeps your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. For business inquiries to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of us via our Twitter handles right here at the bottom of your screen. There they are. There's Race First. There's myself. There's Antonio. There's Nick. Nick was in the Open Wheels Grand Prix today too, so I'm sure he's just as tired as everyone else. So we'll go ahead and give him a shout out. So for Nick Sudik, Antonio Estrada, and everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all, thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and go on safe. Happy birthday, Mom. We miss you. Catch us again in next week at Barber for the next race of the Indy Open Series. Good night.